Yo, good morning, everyone. Irish nonsense. Good morning. Good morning. Here, I'm ashamed of America at the moment. It's such an interesting time we're living in. Or what would you say? Good morning, Kuru and Irish nonsense. So, Trump is president. That's uh that's an interesting future. Next 4 years of Trumpage. Good morning, Lurib. How's it going? Maxi 3. I will try to say Maxi, yeah. Good morning, Ilari. Michal. Good morning. Oh, really? Hey, good morning, Silberius. You seem new. I don't recognize your name. Uh, I don't. I was listening to his presidential acceptance speech or whatever, or his winning party speech. Like, and it's not his inauguration when he becomes president, but when he won. He sounds, like I'm hoping that the staff will run more than him. It sounded by the things of how he was talking, or how the amount of staff he had on stage running things for him, like his crew. I'm hoping that he's just gonna like snort cocaine and do hookers in his palace. That's about his amount of presidential involvement. Like he can just he's the president, go shoot some guns, let his staff run things. I'm hoping his staff also knows how to run things. That's kind of like that's it. What my amount of politics I'm gonna do on my stream now. So let's do some topics and not talk about Trump. So throw me some topics, please, and let's not think about this madness anymore. Michal, yeah, I know. Well, it's worse than that. I mean, buying prostitution is bad itself, or buying sex, but he has rape charges. Ice Queen, Nomad Turtle Merchant. Ooh, please be number two. Uh, four more topics. Come on. Ice Queen is also pretty cool. Will Kuru be again victorious? Let's not have Trump for a topic. Uh, so, three, mutated superhero. That's pretty cool. Three more topics. Matronly monster. Four. That's pretty cool. That could be interesting. Yeah, it's a cool topic, Irish. It could be a fun thing to draw. So, more topics. Come on. Or there's only four. Fat Demon Prince. All right, that's number five. Fat Demon Prince could be cool too. That's okay, Lurip. No one's like writing anything. Screw it. It's gonna be five topics. Number one. And number one is Ice Queen by Kuru. Man, Kuru, you need to go to the casino topic after topic. Hey, Bjork. Good morning. So let's do this. Ice Queen. Yeah. I need to update my stream so that we can have like top topic winners, like a little list somewhere. So Ice Queen. All right, let's do some standard princess type stuff, right? Like a queen of sorts of ice. But let's try to. I'm currently trying to kind of do some sort of ice hard shard style dress. I think that could be cool, like organically growing around her. And I want to see a huge collar behind her head. She should have a crown, but maybe the crown is growing into her head, like, or from her head rather. I think that would be cool. Yeah, and just as a kind of little notice, let's stay away from politics. There's going to be so much politics today, tomorrow, next month. So let's just keep away from uh, talking about politics on my stream, please. That will be great. Let's just talk about other stuff. So my son, he's in second grade, and they're learning to swim. Mandatory swimming, um, which is cool. I think it's really important. Um, like I find it. I grew up in a part of Stockholm where there's really close to nature reserves. Where you could go fish and things like that and swim. Um, and I used to do that all the time. And in Sweden, you have, or at least had, when I was growing up, really really strict when it comes to learning to swim. Like there was these, you had to pass sports. Um, uh, to pass sports like at seventh grade or something, or ninth grade, I think it was. Um, you had to swim with fully clothed, like shoes, jacket, and so on. So you had to jump in the water, in the swimming pool, um, with all your normal clothes on, and swim. I don't know if they still have it in Sweden, but when I was a kid, that's what happened. And I can see the benefits of it. Like fall in the water and you're if you don't know how to swim with clothes on, you're uh, you're pretty screwed. It's a really weird feeling swimming with pants and jacket and stuff. It becomes like glue and heavy. And if you never experienced that, um, I would suggest actually go try it. I think that could be a fun experience as well. But don't do it alone, because if you're bad at swimming, you'll not make it. But I'm happy that my education forced me to learn to swim and swim well. Like I used to go swimming here for a while. I managed to swim like 1,000 meters in half an hour. just kind of swimming. I squeezed it into my lunch break, but my son started school, and his schedule was that he finished school just as my lunch break starts. So I can't go and swim anymore during that time at least. But I'm contemplating of going back to swim. I just need to figure out when's a good time to do it, because I think it's a really good exercise, all round exercise. Oh, that's cool, Ulrich. Hey, Captain Jetlag, good morning. Yeah, I think what's really common is people coming from bigger cities that they don't necessarily know how to swim because they don't have any access to large bodies of water. But yeah, swimming is so important. I mean, instinctively, a human can stay floating, but that doesn't necessarily mean survival in the water. I think this, statistically, you see that everyone doesn't know how to swim well because there's so many people drowning. Kuru, um, I do. I think they do. Not I do. I think cities do have that. But let's say you live close to the beach. Chances are you'll go to the beach, right? As a kid or with your family. And naturally you'll be in the water and naturally you're gonna learn to swim. But imagine like some huge city where the beach is far away. People are just living in the city. Uh, I doubt that people go to the swimming pool or swimming hall to learn. Like take the take American like black dominant predominantly black neighborhoods. Do you think they most of them go swim in the swimming hall? I doubt that. I doubt that that exists to some uh, to some larger degree, right? I have a hard time seeing those like though not those people. Don't get me wrong with like the generic bad guy area, like them going to a swimming hall. I doubt that that'll occur. Georg, that sounds healthy. But bye, Max. Thanks for coming. Good morning, dear Bard. How's it going? Yeah, so I think I just don't think it's that common. And a lot of people that says, "Oh, there's swimming pools. Why aren't they going there?" They are from a part of the world where swimming is very important. It's I don't think a lot of people put effort or emphasis on learning to swim. To the like Sweden has it as a mandatory thing, right? You don't pass school unless you know how to swim. But I doubt it's widespread. I think a lot of people just have swimming lessons in school and are not necessarily having it a thing you have to pass to be able to be finished with school. Michal, yeah. But I think Europe in general are pretty good with swimming. And I think countries that like borders to large bodies of water, they are generally good swimmers as well. And Poland is uh, they have the Baltic Sea, right? Captain Jetlag. I think Poland. I don't think the ability to swim is what makes people drink drown. I think it's the vodka. It's like the national dish of Poland is vodka. That's another thing, by the way, I find interesting that I actually did some research about it and listened to a documentary about the Polish people claiming like that vodka is theirs, right? Anyways, I was reading your comments. Yeah, but that's really cool, Michal. That's good that you know how to swim and sail. It's really good things to know. So you and me will go on a boat if zombie apocalypse will occur. You just come and pick me up from Latvia, and we're good to go. Lirib. Yeah, vodka abuse is very prevalent. It's here in Latvia as well. I mean, the biggest reason is because it's so cheap. It must be subsidized. Um, it's just so crazily cheap. Doesn't cost a lot to buy a bottle of vodka. In case of zombie apocalypse, I think Greenland, sure. Um, North of Sweden, north of Finland. I think those kind of countries where it's super cold outside. Um, I'll tell you why. Um, because zombies, they shuffle and idle, right? What better ways is it than to be in a country where there's minus degrees, right? And and they don't have blood pumping because they're dead, right? So they'll just freeze. Perfect. So you don't need to go far. You just need to go to places with winter. Dear Bard, there is a lot of problems with alcohol in Poland. Vodka, I think, existed before the Russian occupation because they claim it was a Polish invention, while Russians claim it's a Russian invention. Um, I don't know. It's just exactly like Michal says, it's just stereotypes. It doesn't mean it's true. And everyone in Sweden isn't like 2 meters tall and blonde and is called Sven and Inga. But on the topic of vodka, then again, like, does it matter who invented vodka? Is it something to be? I mean, I guess it's something to be proud of. I mean, people drink alcohol, but it's not really helping Poland or Russia. Captain Jetlag, yeah, for sure. Bjorn, but it's not a common name at all. Spam. Oh, really? That's cool statistics. That's good to know. So is UK is pretty high on alcoholism. Yeah, Sweden only has one store, government-controlled store for alcohol, and it closes at 7 in the evening. Uh, Unfortunately, what that promotes is binge drinking because people buy more than they need just so that they have in case they want it, and that results in people drinking more than they need. The culture of drinking becomes a little bit different when it becomes like a race. Um, and a lot of people go out in bars and drinks, they get really drunk. Beer is always warm in Sweden. Yeah, at least when I was young and living in Sweden. I used to have a favorite hangout in Stockholm, but then the crowd changed. Wasn't the easygoing people there anymore, and it became something completely different. And I stopped going. But there was a bar that I really, really liked. That was really, really good for a long time, and then it kind of just went to shit. On topic of drugs, legalize the drugs. I think should legalize drugs. If alcohol is legal, like weed should be legal for sure. I think weed is less harmful than alcohol if you look at it medically. Um, like alcohol is a ethanol, right? And ethanol, the body doesn't know how to break down ethanol in the body, so it actually becomes a poison. While we have receptors for cannabinoids in our brain and gut system to absorb cannabinoids. And cannabis is used in a lot of medicines, while alcohol isn't really used in medicines. Would you like some ethanol with your painkiller? Yeah, definitely, Michal. I mean, if the government controlled or um, quality controlled weed, where it's the same level of alcohol controlled, like the quality of alcohol is pretty good. But weed is like you don't know what you're getting at all. It's some dude somewhere growing it, right? Uh, I think it can do so much good, weed, but it can also do damage when the people are not educated in how to use it, and overconsumption of it, so it becomes a negative experience. But it's the same with alcohol. Like, but the thing with alcohol is that most people know how to have it in moderation because it's such a social and cultural thing to have a drink. And I think if you look at Netherlands, the weed culture there, they can definitely deal with it better than, let's say, if Sweden turned uh, smoking weed legal tomorrow. I think a lot of people would just, first of all, there wouldn't be this massive amount of people running to the to the gates to smoke weed. I still think that there's this kind of cultural acceptance of alcohol is quite weird when it's really damaging for your body. I mean, I drink a lot of alcohol. I like to have a glass of wine. You can't die smoking weed. You can die if you don't know how to deal with your high. You get paranoid and do something stupid. But so does it with alcohol. Some stupid guy thinks he's the toughest guy around when he's like 10 beers down into the shithole, and he starts a fight and he gets killed. And that way, alcohol killed him because he was impaired, right? I think it's the same with weed. Like, that's the whole thing about it's like social education in that sense of if you make weed legal, it has to be uh, done in a way where it's socially acceptable in the sense of learning how to take it. Same as people know how to open a bottle of wine and drink it and let it air a bit and all these things instead of just, oh, is this weed? What is it? I don't know, it's weed. Okay, let's smoke it. And then they get like some sort of bad experience because they give themselves a handshake with who's on the inside with some like probably really strong weed, and they go, they get shocked by the experience that they don't, you know, they can't deal with who's on the inside. But also a lot of people chemically, uh, some people can't deal with being high. It comes to the receptors, and they just don't know. The body don't know how to deal with the um, THC. But then also people don't know how to drink. Like most of Asian people, they are allergic to ethanol. They can't drink. The one way to see if you're allergic to ethanol is that if your face turns red. Yeah, chemically derived weed is horrible. It's not a good thing at all. And they came up with it just because it's the plant is illegal. So they want to come up with the chemical equivalent of it that loopholes the laws, right? Kuru, yeah, for sure. Lou rib, yeah. It's very common in Asian people when their face turns red. It means they can't deal with alcohol. The body doesn't know. And I'm not saying like the whole generic standard red nose thing, but like they flush, their faces go flush. It's a sign that the body is it's getting getting stuff it doesn't know what to do with. And like a guy I know, he can drink one beer, gets red in the face, and really drunk. He shouldn't drink. It's a genetic inheritance, I think. A lot of Europeans have the trait to drink alcohol, that the body knows how to process it, and that it's a genetic thing, which is kind of interesting. It just means like ancestors have been forcing this poison into the bodies until it becomes a part of the inherited traits. Must be all the Vikings, like pouring mead down their throat. And raping and pillaging and seeding the trait of being able to become an alcoholic. Those lovely Vikings. Spam, yeah, actually, sugar is so bad for you. Yet all the kids like go crazy over sugar because it's a drug. Of course, they want sugar. So I limit my sugar intake a lot for the kids. Like in Sweden, it's very common that you only buy candy on Saturdays. Um, and I try to stick to that, but I don't give them any, any type of candy. It's like mostly just chocolate, and kind of high quality chocolate rather than the cheap stuff that's just full of too much chemicals. Obviously, all candy is going to have chemicals, but I try to limit the intake of chemicals for them. So if they're going to have candy, which is not very often, maybe on Saturdays or special occasions and parties and stuff, but at least I know that the candy they're eating is not the worst one out there, and that they're not getting screwed over. I'm not very keen on candy at all. I mean, I ate a lot of candy when I was little, but I wish I didn't. Oh no, time's up. Oh shit. Last couple of details, I guess, just to try to get some in there. All right, and one last little detail, and then I have to call it finished because time's up. Give her some eyes. Eyes. Lördagsgodis. Yep. All right. That's all. That's it for today. Thank you very much for the topic, Kuro. Ice Queen. It's fun. It's fun to draw some queen, evil queen. Have a great day, everyone, and stay safe out there. Yeah, I need that outro, Mikael. I know I need to make it. I don't know just how. I'll just do something, I think, and then evolve it as time goes forward, as time moves forward. Uh, right. I think like there's a like 20-second when I press stop, you don't hear the last 10. So I'm just gonna like. All right.